Hi all, and welcome back to Cat Reads, and today I'm going to be sharing with you what I've read. I'm going back to doing weekly roundups, I just want to mention that real quickly, and because of that I have some catching up to do, so I have more than the usual books that I would have to talk to you about. So I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. So let's just start with the first book. It's Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. This is a reread. I actually started this in December, and I took a break, and then I continued on in January. Sadly, I did not like this as much as I used to. I'm going to be giving this away. I found myself really annoyed with the protagonist, Robert Langdon, who seemed so obsessed with how old he looked and felt, to the point it got in the way of the story. And I don't know why I never noticed it. I must have just brushed it off. It became such a hindrance to the story and to my enjoyment of the story this time around that I just couldn't take it. Next, I picked up from the library Hold Your Own by Kate Tempest. This is a poetry collection based around the myth of the blind prophet Tiresias. I don't have much to say about this collection. I always struggle with how to analyze. It's always been if I like it, and if I don't. So I don't know how to articulate that all that well. All I know is that I did enjoy it, not enough to go and buy it, but the story of Tiresias was very interesting, and I liked how she handled it. And I definitely will go out and read more of her poetry collections. It's just, it didn't hook me. In the end, I did give Hold Your Own by Kate Tempest 4 stars. Next, I also picked up from the library Guide to Being Born by Ramona. Also, this is a short story collection that is organized around the stages of life, love, conception, gestation, birth, and other transformations that happen as people experience deeply-altering life events. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this collection. Each of the stories had something that captivated my attention. I love her writing, which seemed to just bring that atmosphere of fantasy and that magical aspect to the stories. Two stories that were my favorite was Safe Passage, which was the first story, and Catch and Release, which is about a Civil War soldier. Those were the two that I connected with most, but what I really appreciate about this collection was how each of the stories connected with the other in the sense of the theme, and that's something that I haven't really seen in a short story collection, where I could clearly see what the theme is through each of the stories. I would say that there was one story that I didn't enjoy as much, and that was the second story, Poppy Seed, and that was because she didn't make clear who the narrator was, and it didn't become clear until the very end. I definitely didn't see the need for the confusion for leaving me in the dark in that way, and so that was the one time that I kind of got a little bit annoyed there, and it definitely took away my enjoyment of that story. But then again, on the whole, this is a really great short story collection, and I've already bought it. It's on its way to me. The rating I gave for this collection is 4 stars. Next, I tried to read 10th of December by George Saunders. This is a short story collection. I DNF'd it halfway through. I did not like his writing style. I did not like the stories. I found the way he wrote and the tone and everything irksome. Like, it just bothered me. And they advertised it like it's supposed to be ironic and funny, but I didn't find anything funny. And if there was irony, it went over my head. I really had a hard time dealing with the tone. And these stories just rubbed me the wrong way. Also, I couldn't understand what the theme for these stories were supposed to be. Just felt very muddled as I was going through the stories, so I just didn't feel like it was worth my time. Then I continued on with Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. I finished the second part of The Two Towers. I actually enjoyed the second part so much more than I expected it to, and definitely more than the first part, which I felt was just a lot of slew of stuff that had really nothing to do with the actual story, didn't move the story forward at all. I felt the second part had way more focus. I felt that there was things actually starting to really progress and happen. It was more on the adventurous side, and I enjoyed the characters a whole lot more. So in the end, I gave The Two Towers 4 stars. In the Shadow of the Banyan by this author, I don't know how to pronounce her name, and I really don't want to butcher it. This is about 7-year-old Rami, who lives in Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia, and her father comes home in the early dawn hours. He brings news of the civil war that's coming to their city, and with that, Rami's life is turned upside down. In the next 4 years, she has to deal with become a rogue being in control of the country and being forced into work camps and just trying to find a way to survive. This story is a beautifully written, moving, powerful story that will break your heart. I found myself just in tears. She doesn't cut corners, she doesn't soften the blow. I think that that's the most important thing for me, is that she wasn't going to make it easy for the reader. It's a hard story to talk about, but it was something that actually happened. The author herself was 5 years old, living in Phnom Penh when the Khmer Rouge took over the country. I give this 5 stars, and I would recommend anybody who hasn't heard of this or read it to go and pick it up. I think it's a very important read. It was just the most powerful read I've yet to read it so far this year. The last book that I have to talk about is Wild by Cheryl Strayed. This is another book that I DNF'd. This is her memoir about how she decides to hike the Pacific Crest Trail. After her mother died 4 years ago, her family's been scattered and going through divorce and all these bad decisions. She decides that she needs to go on this hike to find a way out of that. I really don't like Cheryl Strayed, or at least I don't like the 1995 Cheryl Strayed. I will give her the benefit of the doubt that she's grown, she's changed. As you grow older, you're gonna learn. And hopefully going on this hike did help her, but I did not like her. I found her decision to go on this hike was as reckless and harmful and irresponsible as all the other decisions that she'd been making previously. She frustrated me so much because she was so unprepared for this hike, to the point that it was irresponsible and, to say it bluntly, stupid. What really irked me was how I felt like she was making this excuse where she says, "We never know how hard it's going to be until you get on the trail." And I agree with that, but it coming up from her, it just felt like it was this lame excuse, because the reason why the trail was so hard for her was because she wasn't prepared for it. Her pack was too heavy because she never even tried the pack on before going on this hike. Her feet got blistered and bloodied up because she didn't even break in her boots. She destroyed her cooker because she didn't know the right type of fuel to use for it. I mean, so many bad things could have happened on this trail because of the reckless and irresponsible decisions not only did she make beforehand, but as she was going on this. And with each thing, it just was rubbing my soul the wrong way. I couldn't take how selfish and irresponsible and reckless she was, and how, she acknowledges it, I don't feel like she was taking responsibility for her actions at all. So I couldn't get past that point in the book where it was just one thing after the other, and how I just felt like she was making excuses for herself. And I mean, I really hope that in the end she kind of realizes all of this and that she comes to terms with how reckless and irresponsible she was. But I just couldn't get past that point. I apologize to anybody who's loved this book, but for me, it really just was something I couldn't take. I'm also currently reading 2 books. The first thing that I'm reading is the first part in The Greater Journey, Americans in Paris by David McCullough. Through this book, he talks about Americans, of course, who went to Paris in the 1800s, between 1830 and 1900, and their experiences there and what they brought back to America from their experiences. I'm about 50% through the first part, and I'm enjoying it so far. As I mentioned in my TBR, I want to take this slowly, and I want to be able to process everything that's coming my way through this book, and also I really don't want to burn myself out, so that's why I'm only reading a part at a time with each round of books I read. And so far, so good. I'm really liking his style, and it's very personable. The last thing that I'm reading is Homegoing by Doug Yass. I'm also 50% through this, and I'm absolutely loving it. This is well-deserved the hype. I love her writing style and the way that, and the fact that each chapter is from a different perspective, and the fact that she was able to make each of these characters well-rounded, three-dimensional, and their stories just come off the pages just wows me, especially because this is her debut novel. So if you haven't yet picked this up, I recommend it. I'm already recommending it even halfway through. I don't expect anything to go wrong with this book, and yes, so far, loving it. That's all I have for you. Tell me down below if you read any of these books. I would love to chat with you if you have. I would also love to hear what you're currently reading. Thank you all so much for watching, and keep smiling.